There we go. Bit of audio would work. Welcome everybody. Glad to have you guys here. Just busy chatting away to myself. It was a bit of a run-in to be here on time, and once again, big welcome to Circuito de Jerez El Nieto. So good to have you guys around here. It's going to be a fantastic one. And taking a look, we do have a couple of drivers that are not making it here tonight. We have got Noah Hendricks saying good luck everyone, have fun. I'll be sitting this one out. I know Yuri Swart also said that he will be missing out. Big welcome to Productive Panda, Brett, Hannes van der Sut, and also to Charmaine Lucchesi. Good to have you here. Alright, so let's take a look at our points before going into the championship. And it's Byron Mitchell up at the top with 102 points. Troy Dolanchik in second place. Yuri Swart in third. Luke Lucchesi in fourth. Fifth place is Noah Hendricks, followed by Christopher Radloff, Ryan Ottens, Maheth Musa, Peter Meyer, Nico Killerman, Willem Buerta, Timothy Stanton, Artie Narkel, and Tristan de Norbrigge. Rounding out our pros. Taking a look at our Pro-Am standing. It's Werner Swart out at the top of the charts with Andres Serradio in second place. Getting chased down by Cameron de Bastos, Yuppie Summons, Vezel Vermaat, along with Fanny Gravenstein, Wesley Lewin, Leon Vessels, Christopher Bosch, Alex Petro, Brandon Roberts, Issam Domingo, Do Gerber, Jaco Krobler, Jean-J. Kierman, Veynan Kursop, and Vic Petro. Going and rounding out our field. Now, we're doing something a little bit more different than planned, and that is we're running a qualifying session where they are alone on track. We usually have everyone together and racing it out together. This time, we stuck them all by themselves and said, right, go and show us what you can do. So, Luke Lucchesi heading out the charts so far with the fastest. Byron Mitchell trying to put in some good lap times, hoping he can improve. So Luke Lucchesi out on track. Then we have got Peter Meyer, Yuri Swart, Wesley Lewin out on circuit, Brandon Roberts, Leon Vessels, along with Vic Petro, make his way around. Timothy Stanton, Vasil Vermaat will also be fighting his way through. Good to see that the Ukrainian able to come back fighting. Alex Petro out on track, Maheth Musa. Then a new driver to the grid, Yassine Ismail, who is racing in our pros. Good to see him out there looking to take it all to the front. Maheth Musa, Do Gerber, Yuppie Simons, Willem Buerta, Vezel Vermaat, and Jaco Krobler will be taking to the circuit. So out in front though, Yuri Swart putting in the best lap time, 1:37.8, with Byron Mitchell 0.006 behind him. So Byron Mitchell really trying to step on the gas to get a little bit closer. Timothy Stanton, our Pro-Am winner for last season, now fighting it out in pros, currently third place. Luke Lucchesi will be trying to chase him down. Brandon Roberts up into fifth place and first of our Pro-Ams with the likes of Cameron de Bastos trying to chase him down. Lap times incredibly close. I mean, take a look. Nico Killerman also there, 0.744, hoping that he can get a little bit more pace to him. Yassine Ismail down in 8th place. Leon Vessels in 10th place. Fanny Gravenstein out on track, going and getting a bit of support from fellow teammate Lewis Nokia. And then we got Nanda Bailey going and saying, let's go Fanny. So good to see. And Andre goes racing. That is Andre. Go Musa, go Mahayeth Musa. Good to see Andre Serradio getting a bit of support out there. ACC driver turned iRacing, putting in support for fellow driver. Project Vapor driver Mahayeth Musa, as he begins to try to put those lap times down. Fastest lap set by Yuri Swart, 1:37.6, hoping that that will be his improvement. Drivers still doing everything they can to improve. Now, this is a rather new circuit to a lot of the drivers, and they're trying to figure it out at this point. The circuit itself is interesting, of note to go and race on. Lots of runoff area, but not much in terms of brake markers for you to go for. So a lot of drivers having to learn by the seat of their pants, find out where exactly the limits are. And you can see even then, like Byron Mitchell sliding around, touching the dirt and just not able to pull it back with absolute ease. Luke Lucchesi improving his time through the sector, trying to get a little bit more pace. Will it be enough though? as he needs to find a bit more time, a little bit of a lockup, tries to bring it through, loses out that little bit of time, unfortunately, and trying his best, but unfortunately just not quite getting where it needs to be. A bit of support for Leon, who is racing. He's currently in 10th position, 4th in class, trying to improve his lap times, get a little bit more pace underneath him, a little bit closer towards the front. Lying 4th in class, he's got to catch up to Wesley Lewin, but Yasin Ismail, who's up into 9th position, is just slightly ahead of him, 0.385 as the gap time between him. So everyone hoping to try and get that little bit more of improvement. Time starting to drop down though. 37s is the ones you want to go for. 38s, it seems to be the race pace. 39s and 40s is a little bit slower. Yasin just getting a little bit through the gears there, not having the best of drives. And that, unfortunately, will kill off a lot of his pace at this point. So a couple of drivers haven't put in a time yet. Vezel Famart's all the way out from the Autosport of Ukraine, trying to get the leg up on the competition. Peter Meyer down in... That is way down. That's in the 18th, 19th place. Vic Petro and Jakob Krobler still haven't put in a time. There's 2 heats, ladies and gentlemen. So this is only heat 1 of the SA Lube round 2 of the championship of the F4s. So good to have SA Lube back on board for all the exciting action happening here tonight for the F4s. Out in front still, Yuri Umpiswat trying everything he can, but Byron Mitchell did have a fantastic second sector and closed up 0.022 on his lap time. So that is absolutely stomping it out. And Yuri Swat getting it all together. Purple in sector 3 and sector 2. Can he make sector 4 work for him? Around the final corner on the gas. Oh, just getting out of shape. Oh, that was all she wrote. Just snapped underneath him, unfortunately. And that called it quits. Byron Mitchell trying to improve his time. Luke Lucchesi stopped. So he's given out on his time. Timothy Stanton coming to a stop. So does Willem Buerta. Mahath Musa giving it everything he's got. Give it all the beans right to the end. Hoping to ebb and flow with the circuit. A very new circuit to the world of the drivers. Cameron de Bastos, unfortunately going and spitting it out. And it looks like Werner Swart going and stopping. All hopes running on Yasin Ismail at the moment for the Pandacity team, as he looks to try and put in a lap time. This time, going and calling quits, not able to get a good delta, and deciding that's rather to wait it out. With qualifying nearly at a close, as Vermaat still trying to put in a lap time. Can he do it? The driver from Autosport of Ukraine really trying to sync it all together. Peter Meyer out on track as well, needing to get a lap time in. Running a little bit wide. All to the fringe of the circuit. Couple of seconds left. I don't think it's going to be enough for him to cross the line before we head into Heat 1. No, that is it. That is all she wrote. And now we will be heading out to the grid. So let's take a look at who's going to be where. Yuri Umpiswat out in first place, followed by Byron Mitchell. And then we've got Luke Lucchesi, Timothy Stanton, Willem Buerta, Mahath Musa, Brandon Roberts, Cameron de Bastos, Nico Killerman, Werner Swat, Yasin Ismail, Wesley Lewin going and rounding on 12th. 13th is Leon Vessels, Fanny Gravenstein, Alex Petro, Yuppie Simons, Doug Herber, Peter Meyer, Vezel Vermaat, Jakob Krobler, and Vic Petro going and rounding out our field for Heat 1 right here at Circuit El Janeto. Angel Janeto. See, I'm terrible with names, jingos. But we're into lap 1, and it does look like it is going to be a rolling start, just to throw a proper curveball into the mix of things. So we will have a rolling start, not a standing start. Right here for round 2. And it's good to have everyone excited for some racing. Gotta say, a little bit different. Not quite what I expected, to see a rolling start. Organisers trying to change things up a little bit. So, Yuri Swart hoping to get a little bit more pace to him. And Byron Mitchell lying in second place. Tim the cameraman will be giving us all the views. So big shout out to Tim the cameraman. Jim will be on lights and flags. So big shout out to Tim and Jim. A big shout out to you guys in the grandstands. We can see you on the start line. Everyone lined up in the virtual grandstands. Norman Lewis, Brett, I can also see you out there. There's a sax going and also putting in a bit of support. So as our drivers just wait it out. We will be taking a look at all the drivers. Go to grid. So it's going to be a rolling start for everyone to just go and get some heat into their tires and in their brakes. As our safety car rolls off. All drivers keeping it together. Let's go, Jim and Tim. I like that. The unsung heroes in the motorsport world. So, all eyes will be looking out towards the front of the field. Let's go for a reminder of the points before we get racing. Our Pro-Am, Werner Swart leading out on 102. Andres Aradio in second place. Cameron Bastos in third. The points are close between them for our Pro-Am. And in our Pros, all eyes will be looking out towards Byron Mitchell, who is trying to get at the top of the charts. It does look like Troy Dolanchek will be having this round out of the way, so you'll be missing it. Yuri Swart, who is out on track. Yuri Swart lying in third place will look to inherit second place. Luke Lucchese looking to put a ding in that one as well. Noah Hendricks will also try his best to be at the next one. He is not here for this race. So a couple of drivers, unfortunately, not making it to the grid this evening. So, as our Porsche makes its way around, all eyes will be cast to the front, trying to figure out who's going to be able to get a little bit more pace than the rest. Cameron Bastos making his way around. And we also have Tim that's able to go and stick cameras in. So we've got a couple of interesting times. We are able to go and pull camera streams in the example of Cameron Bastos. There we go. Cameron Bastos lying with the pros in the Pro-Am class, hoping to make a move. You can see a bit of a conversation, a bit of a chat with his team manager, trying to figure out what's going to work for him, and also just communicating to all the friends that are watching abroad. The safety car drivers are only with a 5.99 SR. No, my friend. He's not only got a 5.9 safety rating, but he is the only one that has won Le Mans multiple times and currently has an I rating. And I have confirmed this. Has an I rating of 35,000. He has led the most amount of laps in iRacing history. But he's not going to lead it for much longer. As we come around the final in the corner, Yuri Swart will look to try and get the jump on Byron Mitchell as they close up. Wait for the lights. Middle of the circuit. Going to be dangerous. Jim will hit the lights. And we will go racing. And there we go. As round 2 of the SA Lube F4 kicks off with Yuri Swart going and battling it out with Byron Mitchell as they make it around turn 1. 3 wide as Cameron puts himself in the middle, trying to battle it out with Mahith Musa. As The grid ebbs and flows. Our leaders still side by side, making their way through. Byron Mitchell getting ahead of Yurion Piswat, who goes out wide. That has compromised the line and has allowed Luke Lucchese to get involved. Luke's going to try to go around the outside. Couldn't get it all buttoned up. Cuts back inside. Going to keep into the toe. Timothy Stanton also coming into the fray of things. He's trying to close up, as it does look like Byron Mitchell lost a little bit of drive. Gets around the outside. Will Yuri be able to keep it all together? Runs out wide. They haven't got enough heat, and there we go. Unfortunately, Byron Mitchell losing out. Rejoins on the circuit, trying to get some positions back. Timothy Stanton now feeling the pressure. Maith Musa, Project Vapor, trying to go and properly lay into him. Looks on the inside, looks on the outside. Willem Buerta also looking to go on the attack. Cameron de Bastos currently leading first of the Pro-Ams. Sitting in the wings, Brandon Robert trying to come at him as well. And it does look like we have got a bit of contact with Peter Meyer running into a bit of a problem further back. So some drivers just start getting the drive from Cameron de Bastos around the outside. Brandon Robert tried to come back at him, but just couldn't get it all sorted out. Maith Musa side by side with Timothy Stanton. Luke Lucchese going after the likes of Yurion Piswat. Just couldn't get it all together. Into turn one. Slight lift. You don't want to run out too wide and bottom the car out. You've got to try and keep it all stable. Cameron de Bastos up on the inside. Now Willem Buerta. Oh, Luke Lucchese off circuit. Luke Lucchese is off circuit and down the running order. So Luke Lucchese went off track. Let's find out what happened. Oh, the tail just snapping out underneath him. And that was all she wrote. Unfortunately, that rear end snap came out to bite him. Brandon Roberts in tow of Cameron de Bastos. And then you've got Yassine Ismail trying to come back at him. So Cameron on the attack, looks to the inside of Willem Buerta, backs out of it. As it looks like Maith Musa going on the hunt, trying to find out where the gap is for Timothy Stanton. This is now a proper fight. Maith Musa trying to defend third place, unfortunately loses out the drive. Willem Buerta goes, thank you very much, comes around the outside and gets a fantastic drive out. Constantly on the power, trying to move his way around. Maith Musa now looks to try and close up the gap as quick as possible as Cameron de Bastos all over the back of him. Our Pro-Am driver now digging his heels in to go after the top running. Oh, bit of contact. Maith Musa getting turned round. Oh, and unfortunately it looks like Yasin as well tried to take it to the outside. That didn't work out for him. So Yurion Piswat out in front. Timothy Stanton in second place. Willem Buerta in third. Cameron de Bastos with a broken wing will be battling it out as Brandon Robert now smells blood in the water, and he's got Wesley Lewin who takes a big dive on him. Tried to go past, couldn't get it all hooked up. Gonna try and get on the throttle a little too early though, and that goes and promotes a couple of drivers up. Alex Petro moving up the order. He's got Luke Lucchese onto the back of him. Byron Mitchell going and trying to force Luke Lucchese out as much as possible. Tries to look around the outside, gets it all buttoned up. So Alex Petro trying to defend and do everything he can to snap that toe, but Byron Mitchell's going to follow him through. Luke Lucchese looks for a send. Unfortunately, they're all tightening up around him. Alex having to just be very cautious there as Byron Mitchell gets past. Now has Luke Lucchese trying to look for a gap, trying to push onto the inside line, hoping that it will work out. A proper send is needed to get it all going. And Luke Lucchese goes on the inside of Alex Petro. So a bit of change up for position, a bit back. Yasin Ismail trying to keep it all together as he's got Werner Swart onto the back of him. Finally, Gravenstein also pushing as hard as he can. Lying fourth in class and doing a good job of it. Basil Vermaat and Wesley Lewin going and battling it out between one another. Nico Killerman keeping ahead of Doug Herber, who has got Liam Vessels right underneath him. Liam looks for the inside, gets a pass, and now needs to keep going. So a proper run from them is all that's needed for our drivers. Dirk Huber is actually racing in our Pro-Am class, not in our Pro-Am class. So just quickly get that sorted out. As our drivers make their way around, everyone trying to figure out what's going to work for them. Some caught up in earlier problems, now needing to claw their way back into the fray of things. Yuriumpi Swart opening up the gap. Timothy Stanton on the back with Willem Buerta. Brandon Roberts, unfortunately, trying to go for a dive. Can he run it out wide? Oh, Cameron getting all out of shape, though. That has allowed Byron Mitchell to get into the fray of things. So Brandon Roberts ahead of Cameron de Bastos. Byron Mitchell trying to go for it. Remember, Byron Mitchell was part of the top 3, and he just wants to get past as quick as possible. He's got Luke Lucchesi trying to hunt him down as well. Luke Lucchesi onto the dirt, and that throws him out. So, under braking, Byron Mitchell gets a pass and stands on the gas to get going. So, what a run from him. Let's run through our top order at the moment. First place of pros is Yuriumpi Swart, followed by Timothy Stanton and Willem Buerta, currently lying in third place. For our Pro-Am, so it's Brandon Roberts, Cameron de Bastos, and Alex Petro for the very first time. Now at the top of the charts, getting a little bit late on the brakes. Yasin immediately onto the back of him, and he's pulling Werner Swart through as well. Werner is part of our Pro-Am class. It looks like our timing's still pulling a little bit of all the old stuff through. So Werner Swart looking to try and gain a little bit of time at this point to hopefully go and battle it out. Dives up on the inside. Yasin tries to make a move on Alex Petro. Couldn't get it all squared up. We'll have to keep an eye out on it once again. Werner's going to try go around the outside again. Remember, Werner Swart leading out our top running. And just taking a look. Wesley Lewin, unfortunately, having a bit of bad runs. So Wesley looked like he was going all well. Under braking though. Side by side with number 15. Oh, bit of a hard smack there. And that was with Leon Vessels. Unfortunately, the two of them had a bit of a tango. And both had left feet in that little mix. Yasin trying to look up on the inside. Couldn't get the pass done. Had to back out of the running. So Yasin has got Werner Swart immediately onto the back of him. Needing to figure out how this is all going to go as time starts to tick away for Heat 1 of the SA Lube F4 Championship Round 2 right here at Circuit de Jerez. So everyone hoping to just score some valuable points for their championship. Some, like Alex Petro, hoping to hang on to the third place in class as he does everything he can to hold it all together. And Vic Petro, unfortunately, also having a bit of a yellow flag situation. Drops the wheel off on the dirt. Pulls himself back. And twisted round. Unfortunately, the car not coming to play there and having to go back. Oh, Yasin has a problem. And it looks like a couple of others. So what happened to Yasin? There was definitely an accident ahead of him as he came around the corner. Clipped the dirt. Oh, that's Cameron de Bastos. Is that Cameron de Bastos that may have got into the mix there? And I do think so. And there was a bit of a coming together. So let's go and take a look. It was Cameron de Bastos and Luke Lucchesi that had a moment with one another. And now Cameron trying to limp the car back. So unfortunately, Luke Lucchesi and Cameron de Bastos coming to blows with one another, and that has just thrown Cameron de Bastos down out of the order. So it hasn't been an easy one. Well, a bit of talk of who had contact with who between Leon and Wesley. Well, there the competitors are. Wesley out on circuit and Leon just ahead of him are back in and going. These two had earlier contact. Looks like quite a few drivers, unfortunately, taking a knock through the race and hurting their championship points. Yuri Umpiswat out in first place, so opening the gap to Willem Buerta, who's up at the top of the charts. Timothy Stanton in third place. Remember, he has been promoted from Pro-Am to Pro after winning last season's championship, and now out in third place. Has an opportunity to walk away with Heat 1. It's third. Then we take a look to our Pro-Ams. Brandon Roberts, Alex Pitro now up into second place with the likes of Werner Swart immediately onto the back of him. So Werner is going to be fighting it out to try and close down to score some valuable points here. Nico Killerman hoping to keep a run as Fani Gravenstein still keeping close with Vasil from Arts immediately onto the back of him. Vasil's not going to back out of the fight against Fani Gravenstein, who knows how to make the card as wide as possible. These two have got each other's numbers. They've raced with each other numerous times in all sorts of categories. Now it is blow for blow right here at El Giretto Nieto. Fani out on the outside. Vasil under braking on the inside. Gets it all hooked up. And now needs to try and get past what looks to be a very, very slow driver. That might be Yuppie Simons that they've just gone past. Yes, it is. Yuppie Simons, unfortunately, profile picture not helping his case as he makes his way around the circuit. So, Vasil ahead of Fani, getting it all hooked up and getting it going. But a close race starting to build up is the likes of Alex Pitro and Werner Swart onto the back of one another. Werner running out a little bit wide, having to bring it back, dial it back with Alex Pitro immediately trying to capitalize at this point, hoping to stretch out and get going. A little bit further is needed away from Werner if he wants to walk away with his first second place ever here at the RaceFace.Pro. Werner Swart, though, has tasted gold numerous times before. Will be looking to try and close down as quick as he can. Nico Killerman will also do everything he can to try and make it just a little bit into the top running of the order. So drivers really needing to push the boundaries of what they can do right here for Heat 1 of the SA Lube F4. Nico Killerman looks to try to go around the outside, couldn't get it all sorted out. Gonna go maybe under braking, really does a proper send on Werner Swart, throws him out quite wide and does bring the nose back. So Nico Killerman is going to be happy with that pass. Werner Swart, though, going to be a little bit unhappy with it. So all our drivers trying to push that extra bit of boundaries in the running order. But out in front, still chipping away. Time starting to tick over. Starting to find his groove. Yuri Umpiswat as it looks to catch up to one of the IDSA cars. As I say that, goes and puts it immediately into the dirt. Willem Buerta closes up the gap at a rate of knots. Smelling blood in the water, knowing that the fight is all at hand to go for it. One driver that has joined who hasn't gone out on circuit is Jaco Krobler. So he is in the race. He just hasn't gone out as yet. So he's just watching from afar. Hopefully it will get him in for round Heat 2 coming up later tonight right here at RaceFace.Pro. Brandon Roberts trying to put some of that karting action into the F4, hoping to really sling it round, leading out currently in first place. So he's going to be smiling ear to ear on this run as he looks to try and extend his gap in the championship for our Pro-Ams. Alex Petro doing a phenomenal job. Has got Nico Kilman onto the back of him. And Nico fighting in a different class, though, will just be sitting back and saying, okay, buddy, pull me along. I need to get past you and then get going once again. So, loving the game, but don't hold me up. So, Alex really needs to dial it up to 10 if he wants to go for this second place. Lying 10th in the championship, this will help him out tremendously. As it's a bit of side-by-side action, bit of an opening up. And Nico Kilman not having too much of an issue there to get past. But Alex is going to try and put his nose back in. Nico trying to close up and just say, hey buddy, listen, we're two different classes right now, but it is a race for position out on circuit overall. So let's see what we can do right here as time ticks away. Sun starting to set. Our drivers having to dig a little bit deeper, figure out what's going to work for them. Now see, unfortunately, Byron Mitchell into the pits, so he has also run into a bit of an issue and has gone back to pits. Drivers starting to drop out. Our pros that we thought would dominate now dropping out of the mix, but does give us a bit of an insight into a little bit further down the field of a new order of names. Leon Vessels, unfortunately, also having yellow flags kicking up for him. So why the yellow flags for Leon? Underbraking. Gets it turned in. Oh, just a rear snapping out lastminute.com. He had to bring it back. So unfortunately, all the thrills, the spills, the spins, the crashes and fun happening right here at El Nieto. Drivers trying to step up their gap. Doing everything they can. These cars all on the same setup. So it's down to pure driver skill to get it all sorted out. Who has saved enough in the tires for the remaining couple of seconds or minutes of the race? Werner Swart hoping to close down the gap as much as possible. Lying in third place, second place just an arm's reach away. Underbraking, closing down. Now generally we see our front runners, our pole sitters, going and getting this right. This time round, not going and having a good run there. Seeing another problem as Leon Vessels. This is, I think, maybe where he gets a bit of a tank slapper and gets a spin once again. This is the previous one. So as you go on the power, midway through, loses out. Luke Lucchesi also having a moment to himself. So Luke Lucchesi underbraking. Gets a turn in. Oh, the rear just snapping out. Unfortunately, going and losing out a bit of time there. Not interfering too much with the leaders. But it's good to see everyone supporting right around the world for all the racing action right here at RaceFace.Pro. A big thank you to you guys for the SA Lube F4 Championship Round 2. This is Heat 1 at the moment. And with only a couple of seconds left of the race, it is a defense of note that is getting pulled out by Alex Petro and Werner Swart. So Alex hoping to get that little bit more length at the moment to get a stretch out. But we got supporters all the way from Ireland, Austria, all the way in South Africa, Cape Town, so many places around the world. UK also coming into the mix of it. Good to have everyone joining in for the fun right here for round 2. And take a look at this. Oh, Wesley goes off circuit as I was about to tune into him to go and show how he was closing up. White flag coming out. It is 1 lap to go for our front runner, Yuri Umpi Swart. Willem Buerta now trying to get a little bit more pace underneath him. Then we got Timothy Stanton, Brandon Roberts out in 4th place. Nico Killerman in 5th. Alex Petro defending for his life against Werner Swart. Vezel Vermaat getting ahead. He's got Fani Gravenstein all over the back of him as well. So Fani now in a fight. South Africa versus Ukraine. It is the battle of nations happening out on track. Leon Wessels in 6th, 10th, 11th is Wesley Lewin. He fell off a circuit a bit earlier. Doug Herber down in 12th. Mayath Musa down in 13th. Cameron de Bastos trying to make up some time. He's in 14th with Luke Lekezi a little bit further up. But Yuri Umpi Swart has done a successful run at the moment, hoping that he can maintain the close battles that is coming into play. Is Werner Swart versus Alex Petro. Alex, the rookie, literally his license is a 2.50 rookie, hoping to go and get ahead of Werner Swart. He's an A-class license. He has got a lot more iRacing, a lot more starts, taking on the young gun. Will it be enough though? Needs to get into the toe. This will help out his championship as everyone crosses the line. The fight for second in class. It's going to be a send. Final corner. Will Alex maintain it? Goes out a little bit wide. Werner dives up on the inside. It's a drag race, but it does look like Alex Petro just finishing ahead of Werner Swart as they come across the line. Vezel Vermaat also getting ahead of Fani Gravenstein as they come across the line. What a proper race. Oh boy. This is properly some good fun. And well done to all the drivers. Well done to Yuri Umpi Swart. Ching goes. Was that a monumental run for all our drivers as they come across the line? Everyone still pushing to get a little bit more pace underneath them. And ultimately, it was just a race of attrition. Heat 1 now done and dusted. We will be looking to Heat 2. That being said, let's go and take a look back on all the racing action after we went green. So what a race it was, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, that was exciting, but it leaves a lot on the cards for our race 1 done and dusted. Going to be moving on to Heat 2. And what a monumental run it has been as we jump across to Heat 2. So let's take a look at our results for our Pro class on that last race. So, Yuri Umpi Swart, followed by Willem Buerta, Timothy Stanton, Nico Killerman, Mahath Musa, Luke Lekezi, Peter Meyer, and Byron Mitchell. Yasin Ismail in 9th position. So, also taking a look to our Pro-Am standings after Heat 1. Brandon Robert, Alex Petro, Werner Swart, Vezel Vermaat, Fani Gravenstein, Leon Wessels, Doug Herber, Wesley Lewin, Cameron de Bastos, Yuppie Simons, Vic Petro, and Jaco Grobler rounding out the field. Jaco did not go driving, unfortunately, so it is all back to the action right here after Heat 1. And overall, though, bit of exciting times as Yuri Swart, Willem Buerta, Timothy Stanton, Brandon Roberts are looking to get their run. Nico Killerman not able to go and close down the gap to Brandon Robert, but Alex Petro getting his win against Werner Swart after a proper run. Some new names coming to the fray of things always makes it more and more exciting. Welcome, actually, the new names to the fields. It's always great to have them around, and it does go and make things rather interesting as time goes on. Who's going to be able to claw their way to victory? Who's going to be able to stand above the rest as we move forward in the race? Who's going to be able to move their way up the order? So we hope to see a proper run of all the drivers who look to keep up the pace. with championships on the line. Everything is to play for right here at the RaceFace.Pro, but also right here for the SA Lube F4 Championship. Once again, a monster welcome to everyone, and make sure you go and hit that bell notification icon. Glad to have you guys part of the fun, enjoying the racing at hand, and who will be able to walk away with the victories here tonight. Well, we'll only be able to see when we go racing for all the action right here for the SA Lube. Big shout out to SA Lube for joining us, being on board with all the racing. Good to have SA Lube joining in, being a part of the incredible actions, and also a shout out to them. 20 plus years in the service, and know exactly what's needed to be done for everyone. So if you're looking for the ultimate distributor of casual, go and take a look at SA Lube for all your needed. That being said, I'd like to take a shout out to the crowds as well. Hope you guys are having a bit of fun out there. Who do you think will be able to walk away with the victories as we move forward into the next rounds of racing? And as we got 5 minutes of practice out currently on circuit, our drivers getting a last little runs in, hoping that they can gain a little bit more time and find out where they are losing time to their fellow competitors. So we look to go green rather soon, ladies and gentlemen. You doing the 6 hour this weekend? Well, that's a very good question. Who is doing the 6 hour this weekend? Let's actually talk about that, because I haven't touched base on that. This weekend we do have the 6 hours of Spa that's coming up at RaceFace.Pro, so feel free to join in for all the fun. It's going to be a monumental run for everyone. We're looking forward to seeing you guys out there, being a part of it, and entries are still open. Go and take a look at SimGrid and join in with all the action as we look to go battling it out in a monumental run for the RaceFace.Pro. LMDH along with LMP2 and GT3s will be racing out at the time, so you're more than welcome to be a part of all the action and join up. But who is going to be joining it? Well, we're going to have to ask our drivers that who's going to be part of all the action, who's going to be joining us as we look to move on to our next round of racing right here. And let's take a look to the grid for tonight's action. So Nico Killerman will be starting out in first place, Brandon Robert in second, Timothy Stanton, Villabuerta, Yuri Swart, Alex Petro finishing out, will be starting in sixth, Werner Swart, Vasil Vermaat, Fanny Gravensen, Leon Vessels, Doug Herber, and Wesley Lewin will be a little bit further down the order. 13th is Mahath Musa, Cameron Bastos, Luke Lucchese, Peter Meyer, Yuppie Simons, Byron Mitchell, Yazin Ishmael, Vic Petro, and Jakob Krubler, hoping to go and round out our field as our cars take off from the line. Everyone trying to gain that little bit of time. There's plenty of spots open, as being said, for the 6 hour this weekend. So let's look to try and fill it out. Roland Ferreira saying Team ETA Autosports is doing the 6 hours this weekend. Yes, I believe you guys have got a Ferrari GT3 that you will be having a bit of fun, but it is not as fun as the SA Lube F4 Championship Round 2, Heat 2, right here at Circuito de Jerez. So big welcome to you guys. Glad to have you here. And so much is going on. Hannes van der Sat saying, I wish I could. Leon saying, go, that's a lead in, going Leon for the famous shampoo advertiser. I'm very curious on that one. to see why there's a sign saying famous shampoo king. Paul H saying good luck Brandon the Dragon Roberts. So a bit of support coming out today. Nice to have some new names into the mix. Good race from Heat 1. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen Heat 2. Now, guys, cats amongst the pigeons, let's talk about it. We have got drivers that were up at the front of the order. We have now reversed grid. And that has brought the top 5 down. And Byron Mitchell missing a tyre. Why? So Byron Mitchell has broken his car, missing a tyre, and is now trying to drag it down. He's managed to smash his tyre off before the race started. How on earth did you get that right? So he's just trying to get ahead of the grid to get it in the box. What on earth? I don't know what to say other than I don't know what to say. Byron Mitchell with no tyre dragging it back to the pits. Well, folks, we've seen it here at the SA Lube F4 Championship. We've seen the highs and lows. We've seen the incredibly fast moments. But I can say that is a commentary first ever, even in real world motorsport, that I have ever seen a car smash their tire off at the beginning of a race and drive past the safety car just so they could get back into pits, so they could get out for the race. Passion, excitement, well done. Well, that being said, let's go racing as Nieto Killerman lined up with Brandon Roberts side by side. Green, as we go racing, launching our way off a line. Nieto Killerman has got Timothy Stanton now going and breathing down his neck. Brandon Roberts caught into the mix, going and getting thrown out a little bit wide. We'll have to drop a bit back as we got contact. Mahath Musa looks to be a part of that contact a bit further down. Brandon Roberts going and blinking in and out of existence. So he's hoping to gain a little bit of time. Willem Buerta all over the back of Yuri Swart as he tries to make his way through. Basil Vermaat getting ahead of the pack. He is now in second place in class. Alex Petro, who is trying to get a little bit of time, unfortunately now tagged up right behind Basil Vermaat as they go side by side. Cameron de Bastos also looking to get into the fray of things. Wesley Lewin is in the fray of it as well. 3 wide into the corner and very, very tight as they make their way around the circuit. Our front runners, Nieto Killerman, Timothy Stanton, going blow to blow with one another. Yuri Swart into third place. Brandon Roberts trying everything he can to hold back against Willem Buerta, and try it as he might. A little bit of dirt getting kicked up in the background, and it looks like Alex Petro may have landed out in the dirt, losing a bit of drive. Brandon Roberts going and sliding around, losing a bit of time to Willem Buerta ahead of him. So back up to the top running order. Nieto Killerman, Timothy Stanton, Yuri Swart all onto the back of one another. And Andre Serradio saying, "You're making me jealous." Well, Andre, you're more than welcome to be part of all the action, as we do see a bit of an off track there as Timothy Stanton going and taking a little bit of liberties to get a little bit more time to close up on Nieto Killerman, who is not backing out from the fight. Nieto not going to lose out from this one, and has got Yuri Swart also breathing down their neck, as it looks like Cameron de Bastos. Oh, that is Cameron de Bastos and Peter Meyer coming to blows with one another. So unfortunately, a little bit of contact coming in. And let's see if we can go back and see what happened there. Oh, Peter Meyer was part of the earlier hit, so it looks like it all went wrong a bit further beforehand. And unfortunately, that all came to a break. This is a little bit earlier as well. This is Cameron de Bastos getting it all out of shape. Looking to go for the inside pass on the number 11. And, oh, man. Big sin, unfortunately, put him in the way. And Peter Meyer, fortunately, stuck in the middle of nowhere. Didn't quite work out in his favor. So a couple of cars into the pits. But out in front, Timothy Stanton leading out the pros, leading it out overall. Nico Kilman in second place with the likes of Yurion Piswat immediately onto the back of him. Oh no, we got a bit of a spin out in the background. That is Wesley Lewin. Wesley Lewin trying to get himself going. Luke Lucchese comes past. Vessel for Martz gets past, along with Jensen getting past. So Jensen Ismail now going side by side. He gets past in a straight line. Wesley losing out the drive. And now it's got Werner Swart all over the back of him. So Werner's going to try and have a good go at him. Jaco Krobler, who has just joined, now in for a race of note to try and pull his way back through the order. Byron Mitchell onto the back of him. Yuppie Simons getting a snap oversteer. Spins out in front. Cameron Bastos and Liam Vessels misses. So Liam having to really take evasive maneuvers there. Yuppie now trying to pull himself back towards himself. Alex Petro a little bit further down, trying to get himself back into the mix of things. Mayath Musa, Peter Meyer, Dirk Herber still in the pits, and Vic Petro also in the pits, unfortunately. Timothy Stanton hoping to get a little bit more drive, has got Yurion Piswat onto the back of him. Can he pull it back from the brink though? Nico Kilman looks for the inside, couldn't go for it, backs out. And now has got Willem Buerta immediately onto the back of him. Brandon Robert leading out class though, with Vassal from Arts currently in second place. And Vassal not out of the woodwork yet for the pros, as he's got Wesley Lewin and Werner Swart onto the back of him. So Willem Buerta closing down the distance, tries to get right onto the back, dives for the inside line. Can he make it sick? Nope, second guesses it. Nico Kilman's got it covered. On the power though, the Jotech sim racing works. Now trying to hold it all together. Timothy Stanton has allowed them to get onto the back and hopefully use the toe of the likes of Yurion Piswat. Just couldn't get the drive down though. Nico Kilman having to back out of it. A proper run between them. Really bad gamer going and putting in a very interesting comment towards Leon, saying if Leon was a booger, he would pick him first. Well, that is a great... You know, that's when you know you're hunting for gold, eh? That is when you know you're hunting for gold. Side by side as Yurion Piswat looks to the inside of Timothy Stanton, goes for the send, gets it past Willem Buerta, doing exactly the same. Taking on the cues and forces Nico Kilman out wide. And it does look like Brandon Roberts goes out and tries to get a little bit more of a move on him. So it looks like our sharp end of the field starting to pull themselves together. But Vessel for Martz onto the back of Yasin Ismail has got Wesley Lewin on the back of him. Wesley's got Werner Swart and Byron Mitchell into the fray of things. Remember, Byron Mitchell is returning after smashing the entire front left off his car, dragged it all the way back to the pits, and then got racing once again. I'm not even joking. That is impressive to see what he's able to do there. And, well, for taking a wheelbarrow around the circuit, he's now got to get past Wesley Lewin, who's not going to make it easy for him, as he's in a fight with Vassal from Arts just ahead of him. They're fighting it out in class. He does open up the door to Byron Mitchell, and now Byron looking to be the wrecking ball against Vassal from Arts. Does look to run to the outside. Vassal going and allowing him to go by the looks of it. He's going to let the pro go, but is that going to allow the likes of Wesley to get into the fray of things? No, Wesley just unable to take the opportune moment to go for the pass. And a gap starting to be slightly pulled as Werner Swart outbreaks himself, trying everything he can to also capitalize on these moments. An absolute banger of a race between them. Wesley Lewin trying to get a little bit closer to Vassal, who is looking ahead and seeing that we've got a car blinking in and out of existence. Yasin now getting a little bit more drive, hoping to get a little bit more pace underneath him. trying to make a little bit more of a run as they fight their way through the entire field, all in their own little battles. Whether you're in Pro, whether you're in Pro-Am, it is a stand-up fight between them all. It does look like we have got retirements from Mahath Musa is unfortunately out of the running. Dirk Huber, Peter Meyer may be out of it as well, as we do here. The cars bottoming out, trying to get a little bit more pace underneath them. Out in front though, Jurion Piswat, Timothy Stanton are chasing each other with Willem Buerta, Nico Kilman, Brandon Roberts trying to also gain a little bit of time as they see a Mahath Musa pulling out on circuit. So Mahath Musa returning after having a bit of damage, does come across the nose of Nico Kilman, but just trying to get out of the way of the fight so he can get back in racing. He's hoping to catch up to Byron Mitchell, who is out of the running. So Byron Mitchell is out of it. So Fanny Gravenstein a little bit further up. Then you got Alex Petro after having a second place in Heat 1. Unfortunately, Heat 2 not running into play. P. Simmons running in 14th at the moment. Leon Vessels with Cameron DeBastos going and fighting out Jaco Krobler. Jaco now will look to try and keep Cameron at bay. Carves him up a little bit there. Absolutely bang on job from Jaco, going and putting his elbows out, fighting for possession. Cameron hoping to try and get a good send on the inside. Will he be able to do it though? Jaco, slight lock of the brakes though. Oh man, and losing out to Liam Vessels. Will he be brave enough to come back at him? Nah, choosing not to. Still a well-fought fight. Gotta say, very, very well done, Jaco. Basil Vermaat going and chasing down the likes of Yasin and Scott Wesley, all in the mirrors of him. So Wesley hoping to get a little bit closer as we jump on the roll bar, and you can see how close under braking. Looks to the inside, sends it. Can he get it right? Oh, contact between the two. And unfortunately, quite a bit of it. Oh, just went for the pass. And Werner Swart getting involved in the mix there. Does look like Liam Vessels also got a mouthful of it. And that dropped him down the order. So what a run. All looking okay, but unfortunately, all had the game change up on them. Willem Buerta looks up on the inside of Timothy Stanton, backs out of it, chooses that he's going to rather wait it out. The RDSA esports driver going and fighting out with the Roland Manifolds Racing at the moment. Timothy Stanton on a proper charge with Willem Buerta all over the back of him. Willem looking left, right, trying to see what's going to work out for him. How will he be able to capitalize on the pass? Will he be able to capitalize on the pass is the next question that's running through the heads. As Willem Buerta and Timothy Stanton are fighting for the championship, currently 11th and 12th in the championship, as they make their way around the track. Currently battling it out with second and third. Brandon Robert lying in fourth, but currently first in class. Basil Vermaat though, trying to drive through the pain. The Autosports of Ukraine, lonely motorsports driver, doing everything he can to keep it all together. And hoping that it will be enough to just keep the pace. Cameron DeBastos now in third place, hoping to try go for second. Seeing that there's a bit of blood in the water. Werner Swart trying to drive through the pain as well. Leon Vessels, Jaco Krobler, a little bit further back. Yuppie Simmons, a little bit dropping down the order as well. So each of the drivers having their own little tough time. Timothy Stanton has got Willem Buerta onto the back of him. A little bit of lift off going through as drivers are trying to just make a bit of room. Our blue flags coming into play. Willem Buerta looks on the inside, hopes that it's going to be enough, but Timothy Stanton keeping him at bay, locking down the inside line, tries to keep ahead of him. as they fight it out. Timothy Stanton is not giving up the fight. He will look to try and stand above it all, but it's not going to be an easy one as they close down the gap to one another. And just off the... This is Timothy Stanton's roll bar, but if you take a look off his gearbox, there goes for a pass though. Side by side, just as we went for the gearbox. Timothy Stanton having to defend around the outside. And Villamberto looked for the inside line, looked to get on the gas earlier, just couldn't pull it all together. Needed to go and close down. And Yasin Ismail, unfortunately, getting a yellow flag as well. So Yasin getting it all out of shape, hard on the brakes. Sends it into the corner. Oh, just having that rear snap out. That snap oversteer has caught so many people out over the course of this race. Even in practice, it was the corner to watch out for. It's one thing, it changes camber as you enter in, so you've got to be very gentle on the throttle. Otherwise, it will spin you out. It will get the car to twist a little bit too much. So ideally, what you want to do is try and move your brake bias a little bit. Either go and brake it a straight line, move it to the front, brake harder into the corner, then get yourself on the throttle or coast yourself in. Straighten up the wheel, and you want to properly straight line it through to be able to get it all sorted out. So not an easy corner to go for, and I challenge anyone to try and get it right. You will spin it out, you will bite the wall. I mean, we've seen even F1 drivers not get it right, even bikes landing up with difficult situations here. Villamberto headed Timothy Stanton. Timothy with a ginormous end on the inside, lines it up a little bit too tight, and that did compromise his drive out. Thankfully, he's got the toe and is pulling himself along at the moment. A little bit further back, though, Nico Killerman has got Luke Lucchesi. They're fighting it out for 4th and 5th position as it stands. And Luke Lucchesi hoping to maintain a little bit more ground as he looks up on the inside. Nico Killerman couldn't get it all in check. So Nico, watching his mirrors like a hawk, left and right, hoping that it's going to be enough for him to just keep Luke at bay. Luke trying to utilize all parts of the circuit. Dives up on the inside. Side by side they go. But I do think Nico is in a bit of a loss here as Luke comes right across the late apex. Beautifully got it all together and stands across it all. So a proper fight between these two as they look to fight it out for 4th and 5th. Well, 2nd and 3rd go hammer and tongs at one another just ahead of them. Brandon Robert, though, lying in 4th position, will be watching his mirrors. He's currently 1st in class, so lots of thoughts going and running around the head at the moment of who's going to be able to claw their way to victory. And Brandon Roberts will be smiling at this point because it does help him out in the championship. Going into it, he was a little bit down the order. He was down in 11th position, but this will gain some valuable points for him if he can keep it all in check. Nico Killerman trying to come back at Luke Lucchesi, just not close enough to go within striking distance. Yellow flags for Wesley Lewin, though, as we cut across to Wesley. I also think this is the rear just stepping out underneath him. Little too much curb, little too much throttle, and just having that weight shift not coming into play. The problem with these cars is you actually got to keep a little bit of positive pressure on the rear diff. Not too much when you're cornering. When you feel the car starting to get that loss of traction, or you're starting to feel an understeer, you get a slight bit of pressure on the rear diff. Get it to turn in, pull itself, and it will take you a bit off the circuit, but by straightening up the wheel, you will be able to pull yourself back into check. Brandon Robert now has got Luke Lucchesi all over the back of him. Luke Lucchesi with Nico Killerman not too far behind him, hoping to try and gain a little bit of time. So Brandon watching his mirrors saying, okay, what have I got to win here? What have I got to lose? Got to start thinking about the long-term game here for the Safari Nation Racing. Running it out nice and deep into the corner. not all too far out. Luke Lucchesi trying to utilize all the fringes of the circuit at the moment to keep it all in check. Monumental running as it stands. Luke Lucchesi right onto the back of Brandon Roberts. Brandon taking a little bit too much of an early line there. Compromised drive, hoping to keep it all together, and loses out into the corner, running out a little too wide. Luke Lucchesi goes past. Nico Killerman now sees exactly what needs to be done to go for it. See yellow flags for Yuppie Simon, so let's go and take a look at him. What happened to Yuppie? Over the curb a little bit too much. Oh, just a rear stepping out underneath him. Far too much curb, bottoming the car out, unfortunately. Just getting a little bit overzealous on the throttle, and that just doesn't tie it out so well. Nico looking on the inside of the Safari Nation Racing. So Jotix Simworks going and trying to battle it out against Safari Nation Racing, as they're not fighting for class position, but it is for overall honors at this point. And Luke Lucchesi smiling all the way to the bank. The more that these two fight, the better it is for him in the overall running, as Sticker Killerman just can't get the drive to bring it all back to the front running pack. Out in front though, Yurion Piswat leading out for our pros. Willem Buerta in second place. Third place, Timothy Stanton and Mahath Musa onto the back of him. Project Vapor trying to get past. Big Send on the inside. Can he get it all hooked up? Yes, he does. Just needs to keep it all in check. White flags are waving though. And Musa has now bottled him up a little bit. Luke Lucchesi, Brandon Robert, Nico Killerman all seeing the flag. Vasil Famat will be notified that he's got the flag. Yasin Ismail trying to come back at it, as he's got Vasil just ahead of him. Ukrainian driver doing everything he can. Cameron de Bastos trying to pull it back, and he has got damage on the front wing there from what I could see. Then you've got Werner Swart, Leon Vessels right onto the back of him. So Leon Vessels has an opportunity here to go for a pass. Jaco Krobler going a little bit further down, just keeping it all in check. Panassi driver hoping he can make a bit of a win here. Happy Simons down in 13th. Alex Pitro in 14th. Fonny Gravenstein, Mayath Musa, Wesley Lewin, Byron Mitchell unfortunately out. Peter Meyer out. Doug Herber out. And Vic Pitro unfortunately out as well. As we now hit the final lap, we're waiting for the checker flag. All eyes on Yurion Piswat, who will be gaining some valuable track time, some valuable positions, and will be smiling all the way to the bank on this one as he comes across the line. What a stellar drive for Yurion Piswat, getting the overall win for the evening for Heat 2 of the SA Lube F4 Cup, powered by RaceFace.Pro. Well done, Yurion Piswat. Second place will go to Willem Buerta, smiling with that one. Timothy Stanton taking his first ever pro podium position. Well done to him. Great run there. Brandon Roberts taking first place, and his first place of the season. The Safari Nation Racing going to be smiling there. Nico Killerman finishing up in fourth. Fifth place, Luke Lucchesi. Vasil Famat comes to South Africa and walks home with second place in class. What a stellar run for the Ukrainian, and will be more than happy with that. Autosports of Ukraine will be smiling on the triumphant drive. Yasin Ismail coming sixth in his class, eighth overall. The new Panassi signing driver makes his way around the circuit. Cameron de Bastos going and lining up with a fellow Ukrainian, going and giving a bit of a well done as well. Werner Swart, Jaco Krobler making his way around the circuit. A positive run for the drivers And we look forward to seeing the top 3 of both Pro and Pro-Am. Hopefully to come and have a chat to us. Right here in the commentary box. What a run. What a run. And a bit of show of friendship. Basil Famarts, Cameron de Bastos, and Jaco Krobler. All friends racing with one another. And what a win for it all. Just taking a look over to the chat as well. Byron Mitchell saying got disconnected in both races, very inconsistent. Second race happened before the start in the outlap. That's why I tried passing everyone safely to get the car repaired. Unfortunately, still running into issues there, but well done, Byron. You definitely took everyone's breath away with a car that was, well, exciting to have a wheelbarrow out on circuit. The fastest wheelbarrow ever here for the SA Lube. Heat 2, round 2. So what a run. Did not expect that, to be honest. So a bit of green flag racing. Let's take a look back to the start of the race, ladies and gentlemen, and what a race it was as we cast our look to the results. Our pros, Jurion Piswat is the winner this evening, taking the overall win. Willem Botha in pro, Timothy Stanton, Nico Killerman, followed by Luke Lucchesi, Yasin Ismail going and doing a fantastic job. In 6th, Mahias Musa. In 7th, Byron Mitchell. 8th and 9th going to Peter Meyer. Taking a look to our Pro-Ams. We have got Brandon Robert taking his first ever win, followed by Basil Famarts, Cameron de Bastos in 3rd, Werner Swart, Leon Vessels, Jaco Krobler, Yuppie Simons, Alex Petro, Fanny Gravestein, Wesley Lewin, Doug Herber, and Vic Petro rounding out the field. So let's bring in our Pro-Am driver who got the win for Heat 2. Let's bring in Brandon Robert. Brandon, welcome to the commentary box. Glad to have you here. What a run there for you. Getting the win for the Heat 2. What a race. I mean, take us through it. You know, it's not an easy run in the race.
No, okay. Look here, Stephen. This was definitely a race that I've been practicing long and hard for. I was practiced my hardest to give it my all. Got slightly thrown off because I practiced on the Grand Prix layout instead of the motor, but glad it didn't affect me too much in terms of pace. I started the race, I just gave it my all. Every lap after lap, I just wanted to give it my consistent basis, not pushing the car too hard to spin it. Had a few moments there where the rear end wanted to step out in the hairpin corners and especially turn 1. This is what I was looking for. I came into this race, I said to myself, I'm gonna go for both wins, and I'm glad I managed to at least stick to my word. Not an easy one. I just put my head down and I just went for it. I didn't look back.
Well, you got it all hooked up, putting a bit of karting knowledge into the mix of it, and landed up fighting against the pros. The top 4 actually came into the fray of things. How was it, you know, starting so high up in the field and seeing, okay, well, you've got a bit of breathing room between yourself and the fellow Pro-Ams, and suddenly you've got a whole bunch of pros around you, like Jurion Piswat, Willem Botha, Timothy Stanton, Nico Killerman, Luke Lucchesi. I mean, these are drivers that will test your driving to the limit by hunting down those insides, those outsides, wherever there may be a gap or even a thought of a gap.
That was definitely the scariest moment in the race, is being amongst the pros. Anytime I left even the slightest bit of a gap, they were right there. They didn't miss a beat, always on the hunt, and it didn't matter if I was the leader of Pro-Am and they were still running around by themselves. It didn't matter. Those guys were so quick, so consistent, and I'll be dead honest, scared out of my life the moment I see them going around the corner and trying to take me. There was a few moments where there was near contact with a few of the pros because of some aggressive overtakes. That's why a lot of the times I would move out to the wide line and just allow them chance to pass safely, and then they would just proceed to try hunt them down. Definitely not easy. Those guys are rapid. They don't miss a beat. You make one mistake and those guys are gone.
Well, you didn't miss a beat tonight, and going and scoring some valuable runs, not only in Heat 1, but in Heat 2 as well. Well, taking a look over to the grandstands, a bit of support coming your way. Safari Nation Racing going and saying, well done, great driving out there. So even your own team going and giving you a good pat on the back for that one. But since you're here, since you're ready going in the commentary box, is there anything you would like to say to all the race fans out there for the SA Lube F4 Cup Round 2 Season 4 right here, powered by RaceFace.Pro? To all the fans, to all the drivers, and you like to add a bit of spice if you wish to challenge a couple of drivers. I know Hilton Nixon was a bit scared to race against you because you were just far too fast.
I like the small grill on Hilton there. No, you grill him all you want. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am right now. That man has done so much to help mold me into the rider I am. Always fixing my flaws, helping get me quicker in any way, shape, or form. I might have gotten a bit quicker than him, but I still respect him the most. Definitely a shout out towards him and to the team, as well as to the sponsors, SA Lube. Thanks to them for letting this whole thing be possible. And yeah, I'm not going to put any challenges out there right now because Murphy's Law, I'm going to curse myself for the next race, and I'm very scared for that track. So I don't want to put a target on my back, not yet.
Well done out on it. Brandon Robert from Safari Nation Racing, folks. Car 412 finally getting that checkered flag. Well done, Brandon. Awesome stuff, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. Hope to see you soon.
See you soon. Cheers. All right. Well, that being said, we brought Brandon Roberts in. Let's bring in the likes of Vasil from Arts. Vasil from Arts, welcome to the commentary booth. This time, I get to interview you instead of the other way around. But what a race out there. Second place in Heat 2. How are you feeling with that one, buddy?
Oh, it's great, man. It's great. It's such a pleasure to fight with these people. And, you know, 3 wide, I first of all, I want to say sorry for fellow driver who was not survived in 3 wide. But anyway, there's small contact, but it's so dangerous, but it's so fun. It's so fun to fight. Cameron this busters on left side, another person on right side, 3 wide in one turn. And before that, another 1 3 wide. It's so intense. It's so fun. I enjoy. All week I try to improve. I try to race with other people, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's worth to put so much effort.
Well, I mean, as the only Ukrainian coming in and joining in, you're not very low. I know you say you're Lonely Motorsports, but you're not Lonely Motorsport. You've got the entire country, and I kid you not, folks, to everyone at home that doesn't know who Vasil France is, a Ukrainian driver that has done incredible leaps and bounds for the Autosport of Ukraine esports, and it's glad to have you here. But you had the entire country tuning in to watch your race and say, hey, look, there's our fellow person in arms going and moving forward, fighting it out. I mean, how does it feel to have the entire country like just putting all the hopes and dreams into getting your car across the line and being able to get that second place in Heat 2 and being able to go back and say, guess what? We did it, guys. Next time, first place on the cards.
Yeah, and it's so awesome. It's great, and I will definitely show multiple times this stream from RaceFace.Pro for just bragging how good I am. So thank you again, Steven, for creating this amazing event. And I want to say thank you for all drivers, no matter what your place take. You are the best. You're awesome drivers, and it's enjoying to fight with all of you. And I hope in a few seasons I will able to fight in pro class.
Oh yes, I do think that is very, very possible soon to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, take a look at Autosports of Ukraine. Vasil from Arts does stream out there, but also has the live broadcasting for their ASN, the Autosport of Ukraine, out on YouTube. Vasil, thank you so much for joining us in the commentary box. Look forward to chatting to you again very, very soon.
Yeah, intisar. Thank you again.
Cheerio.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, what a run. What a chat. What a proper run. Let's have a chat to Nico Kilman. Nico, also known as Ben 10. Welcome to the commentary box. Glad to have you here. I kind of dragged you out of a conversation. I know that wasn't quite planned, but you got 4th place in Heat 2. How was it out there? A bit more intense, a little bit of closer racing. You had to suddenly start looking around you, landing up in some good side-by-side battles. How was it out there?
Oh, well, Stephen, it was a great race overall. Heat 1, beginning of the race, had some stupid mistakes. Had to fight back from, quite far away, but at least ended up, I think, in 5th overall at the end of the race. And second heat was inverted grid, so that was quite nerve-wracking for me, having the fast oaks behind me. But yeah, luckily I know myself, I will make space for the guys, I won't keep them behind, and that's what I did. And just kept doing my pace, which I can do, kept the car on track, and otherwise it was a lovely race.
Well, thinking about back to it, you and Luke Lucchesi then started coming to blows. What was going through your mind at this point where you've see the races closing down, you got 5 minutes to go, and suddenly you've got Luke looking left, right, trying to find any gap which possible. You actually just trying to take up as much of the circuit as possible. What was running through your mind in the final 5 minutes of the race with that tight battle?
Well, once again, just try to keep the car on the track, and I know Luke is a fast driver. I know he's a very experienced driver, so I was trying to fight a little bit, but at the end of the day, I gave space. He went past and tried to catch him again. But unfortunately, I saw he made a mistake and ended up in the wall. But
So it's one of those like, oh, bugger, shame, what a terrible one. I'll take that from you because I know it's rather heavy. But the Jotech Sim Racing Works, I mean, that is a new sponsor that's jumped on board with you. I'm sure the results are starting to pay off. How are you feeling for the next race, moving on to round 3 in 2 weeks' time?
Oh, well, the BMs isn't something I am 100% settled with yet. Still a very difficult car to drive. I'm very new to GT3 cars in general, so I prefer the open wheel cars actually. But anyway, I'm putting my practicing in, putting the time in, and at least there's a bunch of oaks that we're practicing with, and we all help each other out. So we all bring something to the table, and that's a nice thing about this whole how can I say, sim racing community. It's such it's a big group thing. It's not just individual someone sits at his home and race. It's actually more than just one person. It's a group, bunch of friends, good people, and And once again, I actually really want to say thanks to Jutech for having my back this season. I think next season we'll see the big man of Jutech joining as well, and we'll just keep on bringing more people.
That will be exciting because I think he yet to make he's yet to make a league debut in racing.
I mean, he will come.
He will come, but I'm saying it will be one of the first. But he's got a lot of catching up to do to get on your pace. But anything you would like to say to the SA Lube F4 Cup crowd that is out there, the virtual grandstands looking on?
I just want to say thanks to everyone supporting. Without the guys watching at home, the stream means nothing actually. So and once again, Stephen, thanks for your commentary. Always say to you, I think you are one of the best commentators out there. So thanks for always putting your time in, your effort in. Thanks to Doe and the guys running the league, and especially for SA Lube for giving us something to motivate us a little bit more.
Absolutely tremendous stuff. Well done on the race. Absolutely incredible running, and we look forward to seeing how it all goes into the next one. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
All right, and well, we're going to go and do something I love having fun with that not many people get to experience, and that is the Wooden Spoon Award. So, coming into the commentary box, the Wooden Spoon Award goes to Cameron de Bastos. Cameron, not your ideal race out there, but we got you on camera. How are you feeling? I mean, he too worked a little bit better, got into third place, but all in all, some small mistakes, some gremlins creeping in, but that's one circuit put behind you. What's the plan heading into Circuit de Lydion in 2 weeks' time?
Well, hi Stephen. It's Lydion is a new one for me, but yeah, Heat 1. I hope my camera wasn't pulled on there because some very harsh words were said over comms to my crew chief. I do apologize to him, to Jeff, in terms of shouting at him. Yeah, Heat 1, not the race I wanted at all. It's a rough one, and yeah, Heat 2 pretty much carried over that anger from Heat 1, and I just floored it out basically. Took no prisoners, even though I did have some front end damage after lap 1 for lap 2 for Heat 2 there. But somehow just makes you wish what times I would have ran if I didn't have damage. But it's been a rough start to the season. Not how I wanted it, but yeah, some things rather left said between the team, one would say.
Well, it was a race of nutrition for everyone, having to just try and dial it out, try and figure out what to do. But Circuit de Lydion, a very technical circuit once again that is going to challenge drivers. And what's your thoughts for anyone wanting to jump on and be a part of it? We do have the RaceFace.Pro 6 hour of Spa happening this weekend, LDMH, LMP2 and GT3s. Unfortunately, Ford GT and McLaren MP4-12C aren't included. I don't know why. But there's so much going on. What's game plan heading into the championships? What's the mindset that you're having to gear in now that you've the winner of our Wooden Spoon Award?
Wooden Spoon, I don't know if that's an honor or whatnot, but no, well, I won't be doing the 6 hours of this weekend, having a commitment with a race in the Ukrainian side with Vezel. So looking forward to do that one. But no, if anybody who's eager to join in really wants to give it a go, the 6 hour is the place probably. You get to spend some time on track with the community, learn how they drive, just get to know one another, which is always great. And yeah, with round 3, do not know that track at all. We'll be spending a lot of time on it. I know my team principal will probably tell me just take it easy, but I've got the hunger, and I'm kind of really eager to get times in, because this is not my best at all. It's not how it should be, and
it's one to put behind you and move forward.
Yeah, I've got that Rafael Nadal competitive spirit. If you know who he is, you'll probably know. But he's not a racer, but he's a very good tennis player, and he's always been a role model just with his attitude. So I'm definitely trying to just push through and focus on the next target.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is Cameron Bastos of Team Heap Together. Big shout out there to the Sasquatch. Cameron, thank you very much for joining us in the commentary box. Well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it does bring us to the end of round 2 of the SA Lube F4 Cup right here at Circuit de Jerez, as we wave goodbye and say hello to Circuit de Lydion in 2 weeks' time. But coming up this week, let's run through what we have. We've got the likes of our RaceFace.Pro GT3 Championship starting on Thursday. Make sure you join in with that. We're going to be live streaming it out on a Thursday. Don't want to miss it. Then on Saturday, we have the RaceFace.Pro 6 hours of Spa, the first ever iRacing 6 hours of Spa done by RaceFace.Pro. Grids spots are still open for LDMH, LMP2, and GT3. So get those entries in. 2 drivers, get in and come and party for 6 hours of racing, multi-class racing around Spa. Lots of fun. Don't recommend the BMW because Well, it's a BMW. It doesn't look so great. And I'm talking about the GD3. The LDMH, completely different story. That just looks terrible. But it works. Any case, moving on from that, next week we have our BMW Z4, the best of the BMWs. That will be next week, Tuesday. So feel free to go and sign up, be a part of it, as we have the SA Lube on and off BMW Z4. But we're going to say cheerio to the likes of the SA Lube F4 Cup Round 2 and look towards Round 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us here at RaceFace.Pro, and we'll see you next time right here on RaceFace.Pro. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon, and leave a like. Let us know what your favorite part of the race was right here at RaceFace.Pro and for the SA Lube F4 Cup. And like always, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night, everybody.